Yes.
Let's. I just take my notes to two other rules. Just 5 more minutes. Yesterday. I just wanted to point out the UGC regulations. That is sought to be relied upon by the UGC, and that applies. Page 87 is the regulation.
Yes.
These regulations are framed in exercise of powers conferred under Section 26, right, with Section 14 of the UGC Act. 87, I kindly see at 89, Regulation 3.4. I'm just reading 3.4 minutes. A minimum of 55% marks or an equivalent grade in a point scale wherever the grading system is followed at master level shall be the essential qualification for direct recruitment of teachers and other equivalent cadres at any level. Kindly note, so therefore the word that they have used is essential qualification. So this is the basic essential qualification, that is a postgraduate degree with 55% marks. Now, the reliance of the UGC is on Regulation 4.0. Same page, bottom of the page.
Yes.
Direct recruitment for the disciplines of arts, commerce, humanities, education, law, social sciences, so and so. Assistant professor. Assistant professor is the same nomenclature that is used for lecturers. Assistant professors is equivalent to lecturer. Eligibility, kindly note, the same is reiterated. A master's degree with 55% marks or an equivalent grade in a point scale, wherever the grading system is followed, in a concerned relevant allied subject from an Indian university or an equivalent degree from an accredited foreign university. Now kindly see the next clause, notes. This is what I'm mentioning as an additional qualification, because there is what is called as an essential qualification, because the wordings here is besides fulfilling the above qualification. Kindly note this, the next page. Besides fulfilling the above qualification, the candidate must have cleared the national eligibility test conducted by the UGC or the CSIR or a similar test accredited by the UGC like SLET, SET, or who have been awarded a PhD degree in accordance with the University Grants Commission and their amendments from time to time, as the case may be exempt from NET, SLET, SET. So, the minimum qualification, the essential qualification that is prescribed is a postgraduate degree. Additionally, what they have said is pass in a NET or a SLET. If you have a PhD, you are exempted from NET and SLET. This is the undisputed position. Now, in the state of Karnataka, as I said, from 2003, we have been taking guest lecturers with the minimum who have the essential qualification.
Sorry to interrupt, that is not the undisputed position. The Supreme Court in 2050 itself has said that even with the PhD, NET is necessary, and even it has come here. I'll just clarify.
Now, this regulation applies in respect, of regular direct recruitments that are made to the post of lecturers or assistant professors. Now, there is one more extract of this regulation, which is at Regulation 13, which is not immediately produced. It is at 263 by kindly be seen. Regulation 13, is at 263.
Yes.
Regulation 13, bottom of the page at 263. Appointments on contract basis. It's the same regulation. The teachers should be appointed on contract basis only when it is absolutely necessary and when the student-teacher ratio does not satisfy the laid-down norms. In any case, the number of such appointments should not exceed 10% of the total number of faculty positions in a college university. The qualifications and selection procedure for appointing them should be the same as those applicable to regularly appointed teachers. So kindly note this, notes. This is in respect of the contract employees.
According to them, contract is
Guest is a different. Guest is only on the basis of contract. Is where I understand. It could partake almost the similar nature, but contract basis means where you are appointed.
The guest mentioned.
Guest is not mentioned. I'm saying
you can't see. Look at the import of your argument. They have said lecturers and persons must have the minimal qualifications, essential qualifications. They specify.
Please,
and they said this is how an assistant professor would be. You can take 10% of contract, but your main body of your lecturers in your faculty should be regular.
Please.
You said there is another
third category.
There is a third cadre which they don't mention, but
which is not mentioned here.
And therefore there are no qualifications for
it. No, I'm not saying no qualification. Essential.
In extreme, if we test it, then there is not even an essential qualification. No, there is no cadre for that.
No, we are not saying that.
There is no cadre, there is no qualification. You can pick and choose anybody to make them a lecturer.
Third category, is also guest faculty is recognized by the UGC.
Tell us where it's recognized for qualifications.
They have not specified. It is not specified in the regulations. What they do is, insofar as they say by virtue of communications.
The assumption, the fundamental premise.
Please,
that you can have a guest lecturer who will do the same job as your regular lecturer and who will do the same job as your
contract lecturer,
will have a lesser level of education, militates against the very object of putting a qualification. Why must you put a qualification?
Please, so minimum standards. The idea, is minimum standards. So I get the
standard of qualification that must have.
Please,
they are ultimately put in the position of teaching. You can't subvert this. This is subverting statute.
So
that's what the learned senior judge tells you, that please make sure that these qualifications are complied with.
Please,
you are saying you've got a requirement for guest lecturers is so huge.
This has come happens. Our sanction strength is around 7,000 odd where we have filled up around 6,000 odd post. With regard to the workload, that additional workload that has to be taken care of, it has to be by virtue of guest lecturers, and we require around 10,000. These regulations came in force.
Can't have your regular 6,000 and additional work is 10,000. It's not the tail wagging the dog.
Guest lecture contract has to be limited to 10% as per the UGC regulations. Guest lecturer, it is again I have to sanction the post based on my workload.
There is a clear anomaly. You are saying your sanction strength on which you are doing is 6,000. Your requirement for guest lecturers is 10,000. Your guest lecturers are running the college, or others are virtually a minority.
So it's sanction.
And there you're pleading that you don't require to give the qualification is specified. How do you expect it?
As a matter of 2018, these regulations have come into force.
It's about time you bring your house in order. That's all.
That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying.
The only way to bring your house in order is to make sure that everybody who meets the qualification is done. Who doesn't.
Please. Now, from 2003 onwards, we had this system, where every year, we used to hold a counselling on the basis of the points we had shown. Now, for 2024-25, if permit us, to operate it, then, we can condition may be put.
See, the fact that you are saying that there will be 3 marks for every year that a person works as a guest lecturer,
please,
makes it 48% out of 100%. Please. You have perpetuated this guest lecturer as an institution which runs which is larger than the main body faculty. What principle are you? Is
parallel recruitment which is you are handling.
Yes, I get it. Sanctions strength.
You go through the whole process. You'll have a counselling. You'll have applications. You'll have 10,000 persons year after year, but you will not appoint them on the regular post. On the
latest appointments took place for 1,400 or 1,200 odd posts, which took around 4 years for the recruitment.
These are only ad hoc.
These are ad hoc.
We can understand somebody who's a person of great eminence,
please,
whom your university decides to say, please come and become a guest lecturer for 1 month. Our students will benefit from your experience and acumen. Right? One can understand that it stands outside this qualification He may not have passed his NEET examination. You may have somebody who is a very acclaimed economist, somebody who is very acclaimed in something else. He comes as a guest lecturer and volunteers. You have judges who have, of Supreme Court who go and go. You may for somebody who is willing to volunteer, immediately ask them, no, please, for our law students, run 2 classes a week. One can understand
that kind of
a invitation for guest lecturers, as the name suggests. Can't understand that you institute it.
My last figures is what we are placing notes. In fact, that is the case. 7,187 notes is a sanction strength. Working is 6,190.
Whole fundamental premise,
Please,
that a guest lecturer is a third cadre,
please.
is not what they are agreeing to. That's a fundamental dispute.
Please.
And you are asking us to accept that beyond these regulations, there is another institution or a guest lecturer.
No, sir, we are not saying, my lords, that these regulations do not apply. The regulations, my lords, per se.
Which regulations which have a qualification. The qualification is for a purpose. The qualification is that anybody who teaches the students is required to have this qualification.
Please.
This principle is subverted. The fundamental premise, it goes to the root of the qualifications. It doesn't, it's not perfunctory on the periphery. You are saying, forget the qualification, we'll have somebody who will attain these qualifications in next 3 years. And because we do it by year to year to year, we'll give them marks for every year successively.
My lord, sorry.
Please sit down.
Can I just put it this way, my lords?
Please sit down.
Essential qualification is the word that they have used, then the additional qualification. We are insisting on the essential qualification. It's not that I'm giving a go-by to the essential qualification. And net and SLET, my lords,
The question is very simple. Will you appoint a regular assistant professor?
No, I cannot.
With a qualification which is less than this?
No, I cannot.
That is the essential qualification. If you cannot appoint an assistant professor less than the qualifications that you have provided, you cannot have somebody on contract or other basis which is less than the qualifications which are required. You may not be able to go through the recruitment process immediately, and therefore you may want to, for an ad hoc, so that students don't suffer, get a person of an equivalent qualification to teach it. That one can understand. But one can't understand this humongous number. Your number will never come down.
Please, my lords.
Because these numbers, guest lecturers can never come down.
Please.
If you're
Unless I increase the sanctions.
right. So tell us, yes, how are you agree? I mean, what interference would you want from this?
Can I just, yesterday my lords wanted me to file a memo along with the statistics, my lords. I've got the updated.
It's not for a purpose that we can.
Please, not only that, we have updated the statistics, my lords. We have called for applications from both the sides but we have not held any counselling in view of the fact, my lords, that the matter is pending. Can I just show, my lords, how many applications were received from the persons who have the essential, who have the net and who don't have the net? I have those statistics. I'll just pass it on. Plus, I kindly see the fourth. Yesterday, one tabulated statement is also incorporated herein. Plus 2 new tabulated statements, notes. Kindly see page 4 for a moment, notes.
Yes.
Page 4. Notes. Guest faculty engaged for 24-25. I have given the statistics. It's 10,303 minutes. Now we require almost a similar number for 25-26. Now applications that we had received for 25-26 minutes is 49,702. My lords, get it, minutes.
49,702. Yes.
Out of this, minutes we have bifurcated applications received with qualifications with net SLET PhD is 20,504.
Yes.
And applications with qualification without net SLET PhD is 29,198.
Yes.
Now, minutes. So
you have your. How much is your vacancy?
Its vacancy is around 10,000. It will be around 10,500.
You have twice the number of persons who are fully qualified.
But in some subjects, there will be shortfall. Not in all subjects.
In some subjects, when you have, for example, you look at.
I'll just let's point out.
ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊಡೆದ ನೋಡು ಗುಂಡಿಗೆ
In serial number 7,
ಅಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್
there will be shortfall of 810. if only NET qualified candidates are taken into consideration. Serial number 7, computer science.
That we can understand that ad hoc measurement, you may take persons who don't have,
Please.
who may not have qualifications, but where your number of applications exceed the number of applications from qualified assistant exceeds the number.
Shortfall is only in 6 subjects as of now, out of this 45 subjects. And the major shortfall is only in computer science, serial number 7. And serial number 14 minutes, we have 61 shortfall. But rest of it is in one is
Look at, for example, 6 commerce.
6 minutes. It's
Application received is 7,663.
and out of the 3,343 is qualified. I require
So 1:3. You have a choice of 1:3.
1:3. Please.
In average choice is 1:2. Some you have 1:3.
Please.
Some you have less. So that.
That's just one more statistics. The previous page, minutes, page 3.
You thought you wanted an interim order because you would not be able to fill it. You can fill up the vacancies and all of them for guest lecture.
In the previous page, Milots, from 2003, since we had continued this, Milots, and we have been giving weightage, if Milots may see.
There is a question now, weightage. Weightage goes out if you are fundamentally.
Even selecting among those people, the weightage will be added because even persons who have been working. Even in the previous year.
If you have 3 applicants,
please,
for 1 post,
please,
and you want to add additional experience, and there is no criteria that is fixed by UGC, you can go ahead and evolve a criteria where you give them, so long as it's not arbitrary. No issues. We don't see any issue on that, subject to what the other council may say.
We are intervening applicants, supporting the government because, my lords, we have been working for years as guest lecturers.
This is not a
And there are, my lords, several petitions before the single judge.
This is not a prescriptive right.
My lords, I understand, but my lords, we are almost, my lords, in our 50s today. And my lords, we start, my lords, then we will be neither here. And anyway, our writ petitions are pending before the learned single judge, my lords, if that's all right. You can do whatever happens in your. This should
We are
not.
on a short appeal on this. Can we fault the learned single judge or what is it? The answer, prima facie, is no, subject to the council.
let's say the previous.
We don't find any fault what the learned single judge.
Pursuant to the.
All that is said is you must do so.
One observation.
Qualification subject to what we say in those cases where there are no applicants.
There are 2 things, my lords. The UGC regulation itself says it doesn't prescribe net or select in some of the subjects. Then they don't have it, they can adopt. Computer science is one sub-subject.
So let's see computer sciences. There's an issue in computer science. There are in 7 subjects.
Yes.
We'll have to stop here. There's another bench. There's somebody for 45. We can continue tomorrow. This is a short.
Please, I get it.
How long are you going to take?
May I make one?
How long are you
I
going
think
to take?
I may take another 10-15 minutes.
10 minutes. Anybody else?
Lord, may I make one submission?
You are
Lord, the person who possesses the MPhil qualification were exempted, but still, my lord, they said I am not eligible.
No,
that issue.
Are you supporting the?
He is the writ petitioner, subject to correction.
No. I am
No,
my lord. We are the candidates, my lord, who have possessed MPhil D, which has been exempted from getting the net and select, my lord.
You're supporting the appellant.
you are supporting the government.
You're supporting the appellant in this case.
No, we are independent of both, my lord, because
We can only support the judgment.
Lord, I'm clarifying, Lord, in that judgment, whether the MPhil candidates are been exempted or that issue is not decided. That's why, my Lord.
That's all. So we are not deciding the issue.
No, that's why, because we should be.
We are not decided that very same issue.
Yes.
In 2015, Supreme Court has decided the very same.
That's all. So we are not deciding the issue. That's all. We are only trying to find out how much time will you take. That issue is not before us.
No, that issue is before the single judge, my Lord, which filed a petition seeking.
That issue is not before us in this judgment.
Yes.
That's not what we are
My
looking
lord, that
at.
has to be clarified, my lord, because otherwise, if tomorrow if they hold a counselling,
We are not clarifying. You have not applied for appeal this judgment. Are you a party to the writ petition?
I am filing an impeding application, my lord. I have filed a writ petition and obtained the interim orders.
Are you a party in the writ petition?
Yeah, your writ petitions are pending now, my lord, for the second.
In this,
Writ petition that
No,
is
no, no.
disposed of.
No, in that it is not there.
That's all. Then we'll only examine this. And you'll take 10-15 minutes.
Yes.
We can't wait for them. The logics are already expressed. Although they think is that-
No. Please don't.
No, no. I am here intervention.
Please don't follow what we say. Here we change it all the time. It's only a question of is there a point to change it? And the reason why we say it is not so much except to invite reactions from you. That's for no other reason. It's
ultimately, you will see it only when it comes in. Because unless we get such brainstorming or all the angles, we will not be in a position to do it. That's 2:30 minutes or in the morning.
My lord, serial number 101, my lord. It's an academic matter. My lord, the college has obtained an autonomous status, my lord, and that has been approved by the UGC. My lord, now the Rajiv University, my lord, has filed this appeal, my lord, against the third single rights order. Third single rights also stated, my lord, issue the status and notification within 30 days. My lord, the urgency, my lord, students have been admitted. My lord,
My lord,
Bill
item
number
68 and 69.
my lord. My lord, seal.
My lord. My lord, item 68 and 69.